Night show.
Look at you. Infinite potential. Infinite possibilities. Infinite failures. But it's all up to you. The choice is yours. To be the most divine.
And we're dancing and we're having fun. And we are also here today with my new best friend in the whole wide world.
Oh, sure.
Chala, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Stephen.
It's good to see you, lady. Yeah. So thank you for coming on today. Thank you for agreeing to do all these shenanigans. I know the lights and the cameras are freaking you the fuck out, man. But
a little bit.
It's all good, man.
It's quite bright in here.
Cheers.
Cheers. With my Sprite.
Okay, so the reason that I brought you here today, I asked you to come on, is because you're doing some really dope shit in Zambia, and I wanted folks to kind of get awareness to it and maybe, participate in everything that you're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
tell us a little about you first, and then we'll get into how you got to where you are.
Okay.
All right.
My name is Chala. Thank you for introducing me. I joined the Peace Corps last year after not really knowing what to do with my life. I went to undergrad for creative writing and literature, went to grad school, got my master's in poetry, and then moved to New York and had a nervous breakdown. And then decided to join the Peace Corps.
Okay.
As such.
You grew up in Juneau, or?
I did not, no. So I grew up in Pacific Grove, California, very small beach town.
Yeah.
My parents moved up here about 9-10 years ago.
Okay.
I've lived here on and off summers and winters visiting them, and then came here for a whole year between undergrad and grad school, and then went off into the world, did a bunch of other things, and then I keep coming back here. So I love it. The rain is great. The sun is even better.
I will say that, man. Living in Juneau has definitely made me appreciate the sun.
Yeah.
On a different
It came
level.
out for like an hour today. I was like, oh.
It's pretty sweet. I was like, hey, I know that guy. Okay,
Yeah.
so then where'd you go while you were in the Peace Corps?
So I went to Zambia in Southern Africa. I applied for them to just tell me where to go. I didn't apply for a specific place. I said, whatever you need, I'll do it. And they chose Zambia, Africa for the environment program. It's linking income, food, and environment. So we work with food security issues, like climate issues, environmental sustainability, whatever our village needed really is what we would work on. So
Okay.
I got to my village and they wanted me to teach an environment class in the school and then basically farm with them. So I would just go out and they would tell me what to do. I did a lot of composting with people, a lot of picking up goat manure. It was great,
Nice.
down to the roots. But yeah, no, I had a great time. And then unfortunately in March, my service was cut short by a year and we were evacuated home because of COVID.
The vid. Yeah.
So now I'm back here and we wanted to keep working with our colleagues in Zambia because we left so abruptly. A lot of projects were unfinished. And so this was something that we were able to do back home and still be a part of Zambia. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Dude, that's super dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you got a chance to at least get out there and kind of get that exposure and stuff. What did you love about Zambia the most?
Oof. I don't know.
Top five.
Top five.
Top five. Top three. We won't give you that much pressure. Go top three.
Oh, gosh. Well, I was very fortunate to live in a very beautiful area. So I lived in Luapula province in the northern part of Zambia. And it was very well known for their rivers and lakes and waterfalls. So there was...
So the Victoria Falls? Is that?
no, that's actually southern.
Oh, okay.
That's, really far. But I actually did visit part of northern and northwestern province is where the source is of the Zambezi River, which turns into Victoria Falls
Okay.
or Mosi-otunya, I guess they call it. But no, I lived on the opposite end of
Okay.
Victoria Falls. But there was still lots of rainfall. During the rainy season, it was constant, a lot of flooding, which is a very stark contrast to the southern part, surprisingly, which is they're going through a lot of droughts and famine. It's really bad. But in my area, I was very fortunate to have a lot of waterfalls. So I lived about 7 kilometers, I don't know, like 5 miles ish, from a big waterfall called Ntumbuchushi. So I'd go there all the time. And a lot of the
I'm sorry, you said the little Tunchi? What was it?
Ntumbuchushi.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That was a joke.
Yeah, and a lot of like the villagers in my my area worked there, so it was like a family going there. So that would be number one. Number two, I guess the people. I had wonderful neighbors. It took a little to warm up to me and me to them, but by the time I was leaving, it was like leaving my family. It was really sad. Even there was this one kid named Simon who would scream every time it was his bath time. Like I thought his parents were beating him. I was like, oh my God, what is, he was like, ah! And then I would walk over and he was taking a bath. So I got used to that and I thought it was pretty funny, but, gosh, I don't know. Trying to think of the third one. There's so many things. I think I said the people, but even just like strangers, Zambian people are very, very friendly. They look very angry at first when you first like approach a Zambian person. Say hello, and then you speak. I spoke Bemba. Don't ask me to do it now; it's really bad. But I would greet them in their local language, and then immediately is like the biggest smiles in the world I've ever seen in my life were in Zambia. Yeah. So
I kind of get to kind of stand off. It's like, who in the?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay, you cool,
like,
you cool.
Like, oh my gosh, we've never seen a white person. That's pretty much how it went.
Like, so in a landlocked area like Zambia, it's probably you don't really get too much traffic.
Oh no, not at all. So yeah, like the term for a foreigner is Mzungu. So it would echo like as I would walk by. It was just like a Mzungu, 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 Mzungu. Like, it's like wow, they've really never seen someone that looks like me before. But I thought it was a great exchange, that I can go there and then they were like, oh no, she's okay. She's not terrible. We like her. So
did you tell them about you being part Black Panther?
Oh yeah, because of my name. No, because my name in Zambia is actually very common.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people with the same name as me. But on the flip side, my name Chala in Bemba means Ichala means fingernail, and then Chala means dead body.
Oh, okay.
So I had a lot of laughs when I would tell people my name. I was like, oh, my name is Chala. And they're like, oh, you have a Bemba name. And then they would giggle a little bit and be like,
it's like, oh, yeah, Bemba name.
they're like, why would your parents name you that? I'm like, what? I see Zambians with the same name. Like, why would you name your kid Dead Body? I don't know. Like, in Thai, my name means flowing river. So it's very opposite to what...
It's like, well, in Thai, it's flowing river.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm drop dead gorgeous. Maybe that's what that
means. I'm not dead.
I'm drop dead gorgeous.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, turn that negative and flip it to a positive.
Yeah, but that was great. Everyone could say my name there.
Yeah. That was funny. I had to make that joke because before... we started rolling. You saw my my pop-ups or whatever. You're like, oh, is that you? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Black Panther. Well, I'm glad folks can say your name now, in America. I'm glad I can get it. Is it. What were they saying before?
Chala. Chula. Oh. Well, it's also short for Chala Lin, so they would get really confused when they saw the extra Lin on the end. They were like, Chala Lin. And I'm like, I don't, like, it's phonetic. Chala Lin. Like, but,
it's
whatever.
there. No, it's okay.
It's very difficult when it's something new, I guess.
We meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Hope that they do better next time.
Yep.
Okay, so you're in Zambia. You're working with these kids. And a lot of these kids, like, their home situation is obviously kind of wrecked.
Yeah. So one of the biggest issues that I saw there... well, let me back up a little bit. I mainly worked with farmers. The children were a side. No, that sounds really bad.
No,
they were around. I mainly worked with farmers, but of course, in Zambia, their culture is very family oriented. So families would have like 20 plus kids in there. Like you would ask somebody. It was very important to ask somebody who their parents were and how many siblings they had.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, I got 8 brothers and 7 sisters, and that was important to them.
Yeah.
But it also comes with, when tragedy hits, and one of the, I think 12% of the Zambian population still is affected by HIV/AIDS. So
Shit.
when tragedy like that happens to a family and the kids lose their mother or father, it is very difficult to for the extended families to come in and help provide.
Yeah.
So that was a big issue there. And I can jump into the organization.
Yeah.
So one of our colleagues, his name is Ba Francis Mwansa. He was actually a gardener at the Peace Corps house in Mansa. He amazing, wonderful man. My first interaction with him was getting this banana bag made. So all the volunteers were doing it, and you gave him 50 kwacha, and he would, and 2 meters of chitenge, and he would take it, give all the money to his organization.
Kwacha's the currency.
Yeah, sorry.
And then,
sorry.
is that the cloth name?
Yeah, chitenge. So chitenge is the cloth, kwacha is the currency.
Okay.
So I'd bring 2 meters of chitenge.
Yep. Folks are listening.
Gotcha. 2 meters of chitenge and 50 kwacha, and he would give the 50 kwacha to his organization, and then just make this for free, basically. Well, not for free for me, but whatever,
Yeah.
Anyway, then in 2004, Ba Francis and his wife, Ba Loveness, who also worked for Peace Corps, they, saw the issues in their town in Mansa of HIV orphaning a bunch of children. And when I say orphans, I mean they still had families. They just weren't.
They lost their parents.
Yeah, they lost their parents. They'd had aunts, uncles, or grandparents, but it's very difficult when you have such large families.
Yeah.
So they saw all these kids kind of not going to school, being made to work out in the farms too early, not getting the education that they needed. So they decided to help the community, and it was built more on an idea. They got a plot of land a few years later from the chief, and it was more just like an area for the kids to meet. Ba Francis and Ba Loveness have 2 children. Their children are teachers, so they kind of built this school, in a sense, to help these children get educated. And then it just started growing. A former Peace Corps volunteer named Jessica, from back in, I want to say 2003 or something, she extended her stay, and she's still in Zambia to this day. She decided that she wanted to help and stay and live this life and help Ba Francis and Ba Loveness. So we had that connection through Peace Corps, and this man who was our gardener had this other organization. So when the evacuation happened, he was laid off, his wife was laid off, we left, everything kind of fell apart. But a couple volunteers stayed in Zambia. They didn't want to come back to America, whether or not they didn't have families in America anymore. A lot of Peace Corps volunteers are world travelers, so some of them hadn't lived in America for years. So they're like, I'm not going home. There is no home. This is my home now. And so luckily we had that connection. We had one guy, Scott, he decided to stay. And we just started, flipping around ideas. He wanted to help out some more, and we had a lot of interest coming home for these bags that we had. So we started working together and talking to each other. Now we're here. So we developed Ukupapa, which is it's a verb meaning to carry a baby on your back or to surprise. Very different.
Okay.
But we're going with the baby one because these bags, they're crossbody and it kind of looks like you're carrying a small child.
Yeah.
The way that Zambian women would carry is they would take their chitenge and literally flip their babies over their back and just wrap them up. And they just hang there. You would look over and a baby's just
knocked out.
Loving life. So these bags, they kind of looked like that. So we thought we would incorporate that into our business and bring a little bit of Zambian culture into it. We wanted to keep more of an essence of Zambia, and then we don't want to overwash it with, the U.S.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So we developed Ukupapa. where we fronted a bunch of money to have 100 banana bags. That's what we call them, banana bags. Made. Bob Francis went out, bought some Chitange material, started making it, and then on this side, it was me, Shelby, Alyssa, and Scott. We're all coordinating the business aspect, so making it consumer friendly, U.S. friendly, shipping friendly.
No, I feel that.
So, but all of the hard work, honestly, is in Zambia. So Bob Francis is making all of these by hand. Well, not by. Well, he's sewing. He has a sewing machine.
Yeah.
But he's making them by hand, by himself. And we're hoping that if this builds even more, that he can provide work for some of the mothers or the aunts, or uncles or fathers, to help him tailor these bags. Yeah. So that's like our goal is to also have like a vocational education for some of the parents that are hurt by HIV/AIDS in this organization as well. Yeah. So,
no, man, I think that's important. You know, to create industry within your own company, especially like as a reaction to like the trauma that you have around you. I think that's a good thing. Yeah,
it's more sustainable that way. I mean, I think that it goes into a very deep topic of like,
this is why we here, mics and everything,
white privilege and like, you know, white savior complex, that whole situation where that is something that a lot of volunteers abroad have to handle and face head on, because you know you don't want to be this white savior person who comes in and is like, I'm gonna save all the people of the land. Like, no, you're not. They're fine before you. They'll be fine after. Like, fuck off. So anyway, so the best way to do that is like, you know, coming from the U.S., we do have a privilege of knowing about business and knowing about sales and marketing and having the capability of exporting and importing goods. Yeah. So that's the aspect that we're giving to them, but they're the creators. They are the tailors. They're the ones that are benefiting from it. Also because it's a nonprofit, like I don't get paid.
Yeah, right. This is definitely a passion project.
Yeah. So all of it goes back into Bob Francis's organization, the Busalu School. All the money's going to go towards construction of. They have a couple of different projects coming up. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is now. There's like a whole bunch of different things, like girls' homes, another school, some bathrooms, some toilets. Like you gotta have those.
Yeah, need those.
So yeah, there's like a bunch of different things that they have on their goals list, and we want to help them meet that in any way that we can. Even though it's from the States, unfortunately, I would love to be back over there doing this, but. You know, we're locked in.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I mean, if anything, you know, you've given them an access to a market that they might not have had access to before.
Right.
You know.
Oh, and something like kind of beautiful happened the other day. So I run the social media pages, and I got a message from a woman in Zambia, which is about 45-minute drive from Mansa, where Bob Francis lives and is making all these bags. And she said, I live in Zambia. I want one of these bags. How can I get it? And right now we're focused mainly on shipping to the U.S. and getting U.S. Customers these bags. But I gave her the contact of Scott, one of my business partners, and in which case she can get it more directly. Yeah. And I'm hoping that something like that can build a little bit more, maybe more locally, and more local Zambians will be like, oh, yes, let me get this bag. This is amazing, because it's just not, like, these bags, they're very, I don't know, foreigners love them. Yeah. Like,
this is a dope bag.
Americans love them, and it's not really something you would see a Zambian person wearing. But it's made by Zambians,
right? Of that style,
and of their style, and it's completely made by Bob Francis. Like, this is his design and everything. So, and we want to get more of the economy around it, I guess, building. So yeah, hopefully more Zambians see it and they're like, oh wow, like we can get that, and that builds another business within the country. Because also with the COVID, I don't want to get too much into it because I don't actually know that much, but I just hear things from my friends who are still over in Zambia that the economy is not doing very well. Once they shut down the country and the borders, like everything just stopped and fell apart. Like it's bad in America. It's very bad in a lot of other countries. So, like their main export was copper for a while, and I think, and don't quote me on this, I think that kind of fell through recently as well. So they don't have too much going for them. Okay. So their country has focused a lot on tourism, which again, not possible right now. No. So I know it's very small. We're helping like one organization spearheaded by a couple of people, hoping that it will grow into something and build more ideas within that area. Hoping.
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. Well, let's see this back, man. See what's going on.
Let me put this.
Okay.
All right. This is I have stuff in it right now.
That's
it's fine. Actually, it's very, so I have traveled a lot of places in Africa with this thing.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to Africa, it's not easy travel. Like you spend hours on buses and back of bikes and hitching in cars and trucks and it's, I just throw it around and it's just, it's very well made. So my favorite thing about it is that it has all these like secret pockets. So on the strap, you see?
Oh shoot! Yeah, you put like your little ID in there.
Yeah, there's a little pocket there. You can hide. On long bus rides, I used to hide toilet paper in there. But you can put money in. You can put like anything. But
even a buck. I love it.
It sits inside, so it's like against your chest. Yeah. So like only you can get to it. Yeah, really. Yeah. And on top of that, this zipper, the main big zipper, it sits on your back as well. So people can't come up behind you and unzip it.
Unzip it and all that stuff.
You actually have to like whip it around yourself to get into it.
That was the same thing. Like when I was in Thailand, I just had my chest rig. So it was like everything was up front instead of like having my book bag. Yeah. So like it had like my wallet and my camera and my phone and all stuff in there. So
well, that's an issue for a lot of travelers. Is like pickpockets.
Get pickpockets, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time. Even so, I went to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and I brought this with me, and they're very well known. Like when I was on the plane going over there, everyone was like, "Guard your things. Like you will be pickpocketed the moment you stepped into the airport." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they're not kidding." Like I saw a lot of shit when I was there. Like people like reaching over, and they're like not violent about it. You know, they're just like, "Oh, that's easy," and snag it. So I carried this around the whole time, and it was perfect. I actually had it in front of me because at that point it was like, well, they could cut through it. It's cloth. That is the one thing. So then it's got this zipper, the main zipper, and then I got all my stuff in it. And then there's another one right here on the inside. Cool. Yeah. So you can put like your phone there. It's easy to reach into. And then they got another secret fun one. I did not be showing it. Which I have hand warmers in. You can see all the way at the bottom.
Oh, you got snacks in there?
Oh, it's hand warmers.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Bitch.
I like that. I'm anemic, so I appreciate that.
But yeah, so that one I used to like put like my travel documents in because it's like deep down in there, and it's so this is like a perfect adventure bag. But these days I use it as like an overnight bag. I take it to the beach. Yeah. Like whatever I need.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, grocery shopping when I'm not buying too much. That's great. Yeah,
and that's awesome, and the pattern is great. It looks nice.
Yeah, I chose this pattern myself. We actually don't have this for sale, so I'm sorry.
Damn, exclusive.
All right, this is an exclusive one. You gotta actually go find it yourself. Yeah, but it's a good sturdy little bag, and so all of us are very excited about it. It's something that you could use anywhere, and you can travel with it. But it's also unique and beautiful, and all the money goes to a great cause. You know, helping out the children.
That's awesome. How much can we get these bags? Where can we get these bags?
Yeah, so they are $50 a pop. Okay. And so right now we only ordered 100 because again, they're handmade, so we're not like, whipping out a whole bunch of them at a time. So we ordered 100 of them, hoping they sell. Once they sell, we're gonna expand and get some more done. Right. So yes, $50. free shipping for our like premiere launch. It's at ukupapa.com. It's spelled Ukupapa.
Okay.
Ukupapa.
That's fun to say. Ukupapa.
Ukupapa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah, ukupapa.com. It's really great. We have our link on our Instagram. It's ukupapa_shop. And then also again, Facebook, I think it's Ukupapa shop as well. Yes. We'd link them the same. So, but yeah, just the website, ukupapa.com. If you don't feel like buying a bag, but you're moved to donate, we do have an option as well. When you're in the shop and you're purchasing, just to donate an amount of your choice. You know, if you're like, $1. $1 in Zambia is 18 kwacha. So it helps. Yeah. It's great. And it goes a long way. And there will be a lot of happy people.
I believe it, man, especially with the economy shut down, with everything that's going on, and they're landlocked. So that's just another issue, too, because it's not like they're a coastal nation. Yeah. Well,
another issue with the landlock and there's a lot of issues going on, but the shipping does take a very long time, unfortunately. So we had it shipped out about a week ago, and then we get a call, or no, maybe a week and a half, and then we get a call from the FedEx that said that they couldn't get it out yet. Because of all the plane shutdowns and
fun times.
All the fun times. So finally we get a call again that said they're in Dubai.
Okay.
So they're coming.
We're making headway.
We're making headway. We're tracking it very vigilant because we're like, oh my goodness, what if it will? Right. It'll show up eventually. But so they should be here in the next week or so.
Okay.
I don't know if they're shipping it over a boat or plane, or it's just, because of the world right now. Yeah. We don't know exactly how it's going to get here, but it's going to. So right now we're doing the pre-sale, which is why it's $50. You get free shipping. Everything's covered. It's just going to take about 3 weeks. Okay. Which I think like a lot of the people who have purchased so far are perfectly fine with. They understand that it's coming from a very far away place, and it's a country too that's not quite not directly connected to the U.S. So it's got to make a lot of other stops along the way, right. and then it gets here. But yeah, we're trying to get it to the U.S. first to guarantee faster shipping once it gets here. But so far it's happening. They're coming. They're in Dubai.
They are coming. They're coming. And I hope folks go out and check that stuff out, because I'm gonna go get me a bag.
You should. I can tell you about all the cool designs that we have.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to take a look at them, especially when they come in. But yeah, definitely. I'm with it. So yeah, man, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want folks to like, reach out and get in contact with you and, try and, get these bags going, help these folks out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. Yeah. That's ukupapa.com.
That's right. Thank you, Chala.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steven. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, see, easy, nothing crazy, just two people sitting around talking. Couple of lights and some cameras. It's so hot in here right now. All right, let's go watch some softball.
Yeah, right. Sounds great.
Until next time, night show. See, easy.
That was beautiful.
Look at you. Infinite potential. Infinite possibilities. Infinite failure. But it's all up to you. The choice is yours. And be the most divine.